Oi, babes.
Good evening, dear participants. Welcome to the 1 week online FDP program, AI Tools for Research from Andhra Loyola College. In fact, this is the last day of our 1 week online FDP program. I would like to request our fellow faculty member, Dr. K. Hemjyoti ma'am, to start the session.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. So, I welcome you all to the concluding day of this 1 week FDP on AI tools and techniques. And we have successfully gone through the all sessions. And this FDP has been designed to empower us in using AI tools in our research. So, we hope that we have successfully met our motto of this FDP. And I extend my thanks to our resource persons, Pradyuman Raj sir and uh, Pathak sir. So thank you for joining us. And I extend my thanks to all the participants for your active participation. Thank you and all. And sir, now the session is yours. Puneet Pathak sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you. So, good evening, everyone, from my end as well. And I also welcome you to the concluding session of our week-long FTP on AI tools for research. And I hope it has been a thought-provoking journey, and we have gained some useful insights from all the tools that we have been able to share. And in the concluding session, we would be continuing our journey into the tools for writing, and then followed by the last tool for today, which would be for it's a small insight into how AI can also be used for some form of quantitative data analysis also. So let me share my screen, and we'll get started with the last session of the FT. Just give me a moment. I'll share my screen. We should be, I hope my screen is visible, and I think we can. Ma'am, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes,
Hemjyoti,
sir.
if you can
Yes,
just
sir.
let me
Yes,
know.
sir.
Correct. Thank you so much, ma'am. All right. So, after looking into some fundamental tools that can help us with writing and getting insights from PDF documents like Notebook LM and Perplexity yesterday, we move towards the last tool in this category of writing, which is sort of an all-in-one platform, which has been introduced quite some time ago. And the tool that I'm referring to is this very interesting platform called as Kahoot. And this is the homepage for Kahoot, and this is how it can be accessed by Google. It's just a link that comes out when we. It's called Kahoot.com. Kahoot is again something which is similar to Elicit.com in the sense that it works on a system of credits and words, and with each free account, we get up to I think 5,000 word limit that we can utilize. And why it is limited up to only 5,000 words, we'll be seeing as we go ahead, because it's a really, really powerful platform. And it has all the major tools that I think we would require in our journey that we undertake, according to the different phases of research that we have been talking about as we have gone through the different sessions in the last few days. And that is very much apparent right from this small indication here, as we can see on the screen. Right? It helps us writing, it helps us in reading, drafting different elements, as we'll see, analysis of our data, recommendations of framework, so on and so forth. And these are some of the snapshots of what the platform looks like. It's very, very easy to navigate, and I'm sure we are able to pick out some of the key elements that are visible on the screen, like write an abstract, identify keywords, etc., identify research gaps. We'll be seeing all of that. And it also has an AI assistant that would enable us to guide us through the process as we go ahead with it. Now, what we need to do is, when we first open it for the first time, we can click on register, and it would open up this next tab that is going to open, I think, in just a moment. And it would ask us for our credentials or login information, which we can then enter, and we can get access to the platform. Once we open the platform, the page which should open up originally would be this one. This is the main home screen that will open once we are actually coming into Kahoot for the first time. And we can see that there are three main elements that are here. The first one is work with documents, which is essentially uploading of PDF, Word, PowerPoint, Excel files, and then getting data from it. We have already seen that with Notebook LM. So that is something that is also present inside Kahobi as well for our reference and usage, which can be directly accessed from right here. Apart from that, the main Kahobi environment or the main Kahobi tools that are available in this category, which is the AI research toolbox, that which we'll come to in a moment. Before doing that, however, what I would like to do actually is to show you the profile section where I can go to the settings button. And here we can see a few elements where we can see management of our data and which can import and export in the form of an email. We can upgrade our plan if we wish to do so, etc. So that can be accessed from the My Profile icon right here. And it also has a very, very in-depth and detailed help and learning tab, which would enable us to basically Yeah, I'm so sorry for the interruption. There was some disturbance. Yeah, I hope I'll be better audible now. So then the help and learning section would enable us to get more insights into how it can be enabled and used better. So without further ado, let's go into dive into Kahobi. What we do is we click on this AI research toolbox button, and it should bring us to that screen which I was on when I initially showed the platform, where it gives us the word limit and the total number of minutes that are left inside one usage or one account that we have. So 5,000 words would be more than enough to get us initially started on some of the tools that are there. And in order to see them, all of them together, what we do is we go on the right tab right here and we click on Write New Paper, which will basically bring us to this screen where we have these different options which says write anything, write literature review, introduction, method, discussions, result, conclusion, abstract. We'll come back to that in a minute. And what we do actually is go to AI templates. Yeah. So what we have to do is we have to click on the AI templates option, and this is all the categories that we saw in the snap or the screenshot that we saw when we opened the platform for the first time. The entire platform is divided into 6 major categories: general, education, data, publish, read, write, and methods. In the general tab, these are some of the options that we have available. And each button will actually, or each option is pretty self-explanatory. It tells us what it can do. So ask anything means it works like a general chat platform where we can ask any question and get some response. This is basically this particular one is used to integrate with our email accounts and then respond to our emails on our behalf. There are other tools for that. They are now inbuilt within the browser itself in the form of browser extensions as well. It can help us with translations. So if I go into this, for example, we can see that we have to input our text here. And there are some other options that are here, right from the level of creativity that we can select to what can be the tone of our output that we require and the final translated language that we want it to be in. One good thing about Kahobi is that whichever option we select, the basic mechanism to use is the same, whichever option I select from this. So for example, right now I was on translate. But if I go to this next option, for example, the basic output of the environment remains the same. There would be a left panel here, which essentially contains all the input that we have to give. And the right panel on this side is an output platform, which also works as a word editor or a text editor, which can be manually edited and which can be manually used by typing anything that we wish to type. So that's again something that's quite useful. So these are some of the options available under this category. If I come to education, as I said, this is a multi-purpose platform. It would help me plan my lesson also in case I wish to do that. I can enter a topic, for example. Depending on the selection or depending on the function we select, it will change its inputs that it will ask us for. For example, in translation, it was asking me for the output language. Here it's asking me the target audience of my students, the students level, undergraduate, postgraduate. And it also gives us an indication as to what kind of input we have to enter whenever we wish to give any command. So that's again something that's useful when it comes to the platform. For our present demo, however, the main tools will start from the data tab. So if I go to data, for example, we can see that there are a few elements that start making sense immediately. We have an AI analyze data option here. I'll be showing a separate tool for this, however. So I'm not going to use this for my word limit, because the moment I access any feature, my word limit will deduct. And I have a few functions that I want to show. But what I'm trying to show here is that the function is available inside this as well. So in case we find this platform to be useful, so then we can accordingly think about upgrading to a more better version of the platform. So going back to the data tab, we have it can help us suggest survey questions, interview questions. There are a lot of options here: analyze multiple interviews, extract data from a paper, extract data with analyze data with framework, narrative analysis, etc. Then comes the publish tab. Now here are some of the options that we are going to use today. For example, we can see that there is this very first element which says research proposal, where the tagline that they're giving is that AI will help us generate research proposals. So if I click on this, I can see here on the top that it says your balance is 5,000 words, which is important to take a note of, because every time I enter something here, what it will do is it will generate my output on this side. And let's say, for example, I ask it to generate 500 words. 500 words will be deducted from this balance right here, which means this will go down to 4,500, just to take a note of it. Right. Now for the research proposal, it is asking me two very simple questions. Number one is I have to give a description of my study. There is not a word limit here. And then is as such, which means that there's not a very small character limit. We can make it as detailed as we want to. So the more we describe it, the better the output would be. And then after that, it will ask me for a creativity level that I have to select. Let's try to give it a topic. Let's say, for example, the topic that I'm giving is let's keep it very simple. We ask it for a draft proposal. Let's add the keyword draft as well. On the topic of role of AI in education and research. Let's keep the creativity as average. This is very important. This is the maximum result length, which means the maximum number of characters that we want to use from this balance right here. I want to make it around 500. In fact, let me use it a bit less so that we can have a few more outputs. Then what we simply have to do is we have to click on generate text. We wait for a few seconds, and here we should be having an output very soon. So as we can see, we have an output coming out. The exact character length will not match to this. We will get an idea once the complete result is ready, and then it is deducted from this particular balance right here. So as we can see, we have our output on this side. Let me zoom in a bit. We can see that it has used up, I think, more than 1,000 words. We are now down to 3,856 words. There's a title, a working title, with some features that the platform understands needs to be there in a proposal. I'm not going into the content part of it, that I'm sure we can analyze and edit it better depending upon our requirements. But it tries to follow the flow in the format of the task that it was designed to do. So it gives us an abstract. It gives us an introduction. Just a moment. Okay, I'm sorry for that interruption again. Yeah, so as we can see, there's an abstract followed by an introduction, a short introduction on the topic that we have asked it to give to us. It tries to give some, it tries to cite some in-text citations wherever it is able to do so, followed by objectives, a brief list of 4 objectives, then some lit review, methodology, our expected outcomes and significance of study conclusion. So it's a very good, as I said yesterday also, these writing tools, especially the writing category, is very good for us to take a start on the objective or the phase of the research process that we're trying to accomplish. But again, just like all of our research tools, it's very, very careful in giving us this element here, which says AI may not provide real sources. Any sources could be fake. So we have to check its authenticity. I think we have discussed that yesterday at length. So this is quite useful, as we can see. Now, as I mentioned, this works both as an output platform as well as a text editor also. I can edit anything that I want in this output. I can add my own, but that whatever I write here will not be deducted from this. Whatever it auto generates will be deducted from my balance. This will not change anything. So that manual editing is also possible. Apart from that, there are a few elements that we can add. We can change the font style, and I can give this document a name right here. Then apart from that, we can select any workbook if we have created. All that is there. I can copy this text from here. I can click on copy. In one click, it will copy the entire text. I can go to a new Microsoft Windows or Google Doc, whatever I'm using, then I can simply copy paste it there. And if I don't want to do that also, another good thing regarding Kahoot! Is it will allow me to export this document in 3 formats. I can download it as a Word file, export as a Word. So this is what it will look like. This is the downloaded version. As you can see, it's much better formatted as compared to my copied version, which is given here. So we can see the difference quite clearly. And it's sort of tries to take care of majority of the formatting and font and all of that. So, okay. I can also export it as a PDF as well, right from here. And we can see that this is the PDF version. PDF version has a few formatting issues. There will be breaks in between the pages. The Word version works perfectly well. Also, I can export it as a text document. So if I click on text, it will download a text file for me, which can then open in the Notepad or any text editor that we have. So in this way, it can be directly exported depending upon our requirement. I think Microsoft Word works quite well. So that's the first option that I wanted to show today. We'll try a few more before going with ahead with the next platform. Okay, so let's say, for example, I have a topic in mind and I want to explore future research areas in it. It can also suggest me that as well. And we'll try to keep it simple this time. We'll use a little bit of less word limit. Let's try to change the topic. Let's say role of AI in digital humanities. I'll change the word limit to about 200 this time. Let's try to increase the creativity level. We'll keep it high. We'll see if there's any difference. And we should be getting some output as we speak. So further research recommendations are coming up as we speak. I won't go into the theory part of it, but just to take a note of the headings that it has come out with. It is still generating the results, but I think it has come out with a pretty good list, cross-disciplinary approaches, AI for preservation and restoration of documents, enhanced text mining, ethical considerations, etc. And goes on to talk about a few other areas. So it does try to, what I'm trying to say is it does try to do what the option or the tab is referring to. At least take a start on that. That's what it will help us with. Another interesting one is this one. This is supposed to be a journal suggester, but again, for this one, we'll have to be really careful. We'll have to verify the viability and the correctness of the journal that it recommends. Let's go with the same. First and foremost, we would have to verify if the journals are actually there or not. That is something that we need to do, but it does tell us as to the general direction in which these tools seem to be going in terms of the way that they would help us as it goes ahead. And here is asking me a separate question as to what field I want to publish in. Maybe I'll just say humanities and social sciences. Let's go with average. I'll again reduce the word limit to 200. And let's see what it comes up with. Yeah. For this one, I strongly suggest that we need to check the authenticity of the list that it comes out with. So, or whether it is just random text that it is generating. So again, we'll have to use it carefully. But since it is there, I'm just showing the output very, very quickly. Okay, going ahead with the next one. Let's go to the next option. It also allows us to sort of take some help in terms of polishing a manuscript for academic publication. So what it does is we have to upload whatever we write, but then again there is a whole discussion here, I'm sure, about the whole notion of privacy of whatever we are writing. So again, we have to use it carefully. But option is there inside it. The next one that I want to focus on, however, is this section, which is read. Now, Read has a few different options. It would allow us to take help on proofreading any document. It will help us summarize any text that we upload, explain any concept, write opposing argument for any topic that we have, and as well as give a critical analysis or the critique of any text that I'm writing. Now, this one is out of all this, I want to show this one as to how it is able to, if at all it is able to give us a good enough start on critiquing any topic that we are working on. So we can get some critical perspectives on it. But we can see very clearly it gives a warning right here which says it may not be necessarily correct. So we'll have to verify that. Let's say we give it an argument, suppose with the advent of AI, the role of humanities in decline. I'm just typing something randomly. Let's see what it comes out with. And it has assumed that there is a manuscript on this, and it gives me an overview on it, on this topic, and keeping in mind that I have just given the area, and not even the area, just the scope of the study that I want to work on. And on the basis of that, it is giving me some insights into what can be the strengths on the topic and what can be the areas of improvement. So followed by a conclusion. But each result follows this disclaimer at the end, which again and again tells us to verify that. Another important tab is the Write tab. Now, the Write tab has a lot of options, right from helping us write an abstract to conclusion to results, discussion, historical overview, rewrite or paraphrase. I think there was a discussion yesterday going on about article spinner that somebody mentioned. So that tab is already included here. Let's say literature review. We'll try that one. I'll go with the same topic. Here it is. So as I said, depending on the option I select, it will ask me a variety of different questions. Here it is asking me what citation style do I want. I am going with MLA and go with 200 again. So we should be having an output. Yeah. It tries to give us a pretty good start on. I am sure the word limit has exceeded much beyond 200. So depending on the option that we select, it by default takes a bigger word limit than I write here. There is the character length that I determine here. So of course, for all the papers that it mentions, we would have to verify whether those papers are actually there or not. And I think we do have a draft ready. Introduction, AI's applications in digital humanities, benefits of AI, challenges and ethical considerations, and future directions. Again, I can download it as a Word if I wish to, and then edit it from there. So this is how what the Word file looks like. Let's try randomly and just a small check whether it is actually generating authentic results or not. If there is a possibility, it might not. So we would have to definitely verify that. So as you can see, this is not a correct result. So this is a good way of checking. So somebody was asking whether if we use anything from AI, whether that will come into plagiarism or not. But it's important to take a note of that not all the time the results would be there. So we have to check its information very carefully whenever we try to use it for taking an entry point into whatever output or result we are generating. And of course, but this is the start of these kinds of platforms. As I'm sure as time goes ahead, they'll develop further and become better as we have seen with ChatGPT as well. Okay, so that's the first one for today. There are other options here that I would invite you to explore. There are, depending upon your requirement, you can try them out. The last one, which is method tab, has a few areas like this kind of options can be good. They would help us brainstorm better instead of directly writing, let's say something like a literature review. Identification of research gaps would give us some areas that we can then further read on, or maybe a series of research questions that we can generate and get an idea on. Let's try this as a last one. I'll go with the same topic. Because we are almost out of the balance, the word balance also. So there is an error because my balance is 1200 and I have given maximum character length as 1500. So let's make it 500. 498. So this kind of options can definitely be better as compared to a direct output, as I was saying. We have about 10 research questions that it has generated, which we can then further think about and refine them further. Okay, so that's the first tool for today. And the last tool in the category of writing, it's called Kahubi. And it's pretty good in terms of all the elements that it has. Okay, now before I go with the data analysis part, which will be a really short demo from mine, I'll just try to show you what the platform can do, because I myself work primarily with literature and literary text and qualitative data. I would just try to introduce the platform here. I want to spend some time talking about something really important which came up again and again in the discussion yesterday, which was the usage of AI generated content for research. And as I mentioned yesterday, there are some policies that are coming in place as we speak. I will try to show you one of them today. It's very popular. It has come some time back only. There was a whole discussion going on around it when it was going to be coming. And let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I think this is it. I did search for it earlier. Okay, so this, of course, I'm sure you must have guessed by now. The one that I wanted to show is by Elsevier. And Elsevier has primarily come out with this particular section on their website for two different categories, which is the one that I've opened just now is for books. And this is the hyperlink that I'm about to click now is on its research policy for journals. So this is the one for journals. And it says, I just want to spend some time taking us through it. It says it begins by talking about the fact that how generative AI and AI-assisted technologies are being increasingly used for in the process of writing and how they can be used properly. So they have a few sections in this particular set of guidelines that they've come out with. And this one is for the writing process of authors. And I just want to take, I would, of course, I will share these links in the document that I will share with the organizers. You can go through it at length. Otherwise, you can directly read it from Google as well. I just want to show one or two important sections here very quickly. The first one is this. Authors should disclose in the manuscript the use of AI and AI technologies, and the statement will appear in the said published work. Declaring the use of these technologies will support transparency and trust between authors, readers, and viewers, etc. And secondly, and more importantly, is this paragraph which says authors should not list AI and AI-assisted technologies as an author, nor cite AI as an author. And ultimately, it goes on to talk about how it is important to have transparency in the process of writing. And then it goes on to talk about the second section where how AI-generated tools can be used for figures, images, or artworks in the manuscript. And it says very clearly that we do not permit the use of generative AI or AI-assisted tools to create or alter images in submitted manuscripts, which means AI-created images are not permitted. This may include enhancing, obscuring, moving, removing, or including or introducing a specific feature with an image or a figure. They have tried to cover pretty much everything. And then it says the only exception is if the use of AI or AI-assisted tools is a part of research design or methods, such as AI-assisted imagining approaches to generate or interpret the underlying research data. And then they talk about the specific areas also where such processes are permitted. And lastly, it says the use of generative AI in the production of artworks, such as graphical abstracts, is not permitted. So that's important to take a note of. Then it goes on to talk about a detailed policy for reviewers also, followed by for the editors of the manuscript. So which I'm sure I'm sure we can read it through it at length. I'll be sharing this link anyways, or it's available as I have showed how to access it. And they very clearly say that generative AI is how they define generative AI, which is basically technology that can produce types of text such as text, imagery, audio, synthetic data. Examples, they've tried to include tools, the popular ones like ChatGPT, Jasper, Writer, the image creation platform of OpenAI called DALL-E, etc. So this is what is, and this kind of guidelines are now available on all the major platforms that I think I have seen there. I saw it on Elsevier. I have seen it on Wiley as well. I'm sure Taylor and Francis also has one. So I think we can simply search it through Google and it would be easily available for our reference. So the whole discussion yesterday about utilizing the content generated by AI is pretty much covered here. So I will reiterate what I said in my first session, which is we should not directly use any AI generated output. Rather, we should use these tools to help us in our process of writing and make our own written version of research better and then take help from there. So that's my take on it. I'm sure these guidelines will be refined further as time goes ahead. So, and the second one, as I mentioned, this is the original page that we came to. This is the use of generative AI for book authors. So they have two separate sections very clearly defined for the book authors as well as for journal writing as well. So that's something for our reference. All right. Before I open up for questions, let me just very quickly show the data analysis tool that I want to show. It's fairly well known. It has been around for some time now. There are many such platforms. In fact, now the pro version or the paid version of ChatGPT also permits data analysis up to a certain extent. But we do have separate platforms for it. The one that I wanted to show is this one. It's called Julius. It has been around for some time now, fairly well known. Julius requires a sign up, and the moment I click on sign up, it will give me these three options. I can use an email account, I can use my Google account, or an Apple account, depending on my preference. Once I have logged in, it will bring me to this screen right here. In fact, not this one, this one. That was the profile section. What the one that I opened, I'll be taking you to that in a moment. But this is what the workspace looks like. Now we can see that there are a few elements that are there right there on the top, which are of reference, for which would be more clear, I'm sure, to those of us who work more with data. And the one that I can immediately recognize on this side is that we can switch between the two runtime libraries between Python and R, and depending upon our requirement. Apart from that, this sidebar can be open or closed, which would open any project notebook that we are working on, and we can create separate notebooks for separate projects. If I go to the settings option, these are some of the settings that we can scroll through. I can switch between the themes, just like perplexity. These are some of the options I can enable or disable. Since all of this is already turned on, it will allow it to do web searches. It will allow it to show us the code that it runs once we give some commands as we go ahead, etc. And apart from that, these are some of the other options where we can customize it, and this is for the API keys. So that is something that you can explore as per the preference that you have. The most important part of this whole platform that I wanted to show is the resources tab. Resources are very, very detailed for Julius, and for those of us who are, if we have not seen this platform before, it has a very good section, for example, on the how-to videos, where it would show us how to actually, help us better understand Julius in a better way, apart from the short demo that I do today. So in this way, a lot of documentation is there. They have a very active community forum also, which explored for further details. And in case we find Julius to be useful, we would have to upgrade, because Julius in the free version has very limited usage. I'll show you that in a moment. It is available right here. We can see that with the free account, I get up to 15 messages. I think it resets itself. I don't recall exactly, but I think in a month or so, or 15 days. So in one go, I can have up to 15 interactions with whatever files I upload or whatever data I upload. So if I come to the new thread again, it will bring me back to this default option, where we have some of these options that are already coming up, time series analysis, significance testing, etc. I'll try to show something very, very simple. And before doing that, there are two options that are here. The free version will only allow us to run one model. If we want to switch between the language models, we would have to upgrade to the pro version. And the tools, which are two, just a moment. Sorry for the interruption again. I got an important call. I hope I'm audible again. The tool options would allow us to switch between turning or opening to opening and closing of some of the options that are available here. And lastly, this is what the search bar looks like. Here we can attach our files. I can upload a file from my device, or I can enable or I can import a Google Sheet also. So it can support up to 3 kinds of formats: spreadsheet, an image, or a PDF. I think somebody raised a hand. I won't be able to see the chat screen. Somebody's mic is on. May I please request you to mute? Hemjyoti ma'am or sir, if you are there, I hope I request you to please help me with the same. Thank you.
Sarita Kumari ma'am, please mute your mic. Dear participants, please mute your mic.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Okay, so the uploading would allow us to switch between 3 different formats: a spreadsheet, an image, or a PDF, and of course a Google Sheet can be uploaded. Now I have a sample data set that I downloaded earlier. I think it should be like here. Yeah, so this is basically a set of scores of different exams. I just wanted to show how the platform operates. I'm going to upload the file here. And once we upload it, we should be having an analysis coming up directly. So yeah, so this is what the data looks like. And let's say if I'm somebody who does not know anything about the platform or who is not aware of how to use or work with data, so Julius can help us with that also. I'll show you that in a moment. On this side, it gives us an information about what the file consists of. Contains data on student exam scores and course grades for a particular semester. It goes on to talk in detail about that. Let me hide this part. Now, let's say we have a limit of 15 messages. Keeping that in mind, we can ask it something like this. Okay, so we can see that it is responding to our query. And it goes on to give me an idea about what all it can do. It can do descriptive statistics, correlation analysis, trends analysis, comparative analysis, visualization, etc. Let's try one or 2 small outputs. Since I do not have any set of hypotheses with me, I'm going to give it a command. Assume a set of hypotheses and test on this data. So I've asked it to assume a set of hypotheses and then run a t-test on this. So as we can see, it tries to assume a set of 2 hypotheses. I'm just trying to show what the platform can do. Then of course, I'm sure depending upon our domains, we can design better prompts and get better outputs. Another interesting part inside Julius is that this entire section of script that is written can also be edited. It is editable. It can be rerun. Somebody's mic is on again. Can I please request you to mute? Thank you. And after that, it has found something missing. It has tried to correct it. And this is what the output it comes out with. The t-test results after cleaning the data show
Puneet sir, unmute yourself, sir.
I was on mute. I'm so sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'll repeat what I said the last part, that I'm re-stressing again and again on the fact that depending on the domain that we have, we can design a prompt and it will give us the results on the basis of that. Let's try one more prompt before I think we will open up for some questions and have some discussion. Right, let's give it one last prompt. Let's say if it is able to give us any visualization. I'm not specifying what kind of visualization I want. Let's see what it comes out with. It also tries to, while it generates the results, it also tries to give us an idea of what the code is exactly going to do. Okay. I don't see the visualizations. I think they should be here. Okay, there is some problem with this. Usually it directly gives me that. Let me see if I can give it a very specific visualization. It is showing that the image should be here. I'm not sure why it is not showing it today. Usually it does that directly, but I think there's some problem. Okay, let me see if I can do that with my ChatGPT platform. Okay, so as I said, ChatGPT also allows us the same data analysis. Once the process is the same, I can upload my files and I can ask it for any kind of a visualization that I want. Yeah, I think it's using the same two libraries which were mentioned, Seaborn and Matplotlib. Yeah, so this is what the output in Julius also should show, but it's not currently working. I'm sure I have to refresh it once, but we have a paucity of time, so I've switched over to ChatGPT. But this also shows us that ChatGPT can also do the same. All right, I think with that, I would like to rest my session for today and spend some more time on a bit of discussion, maybe your feedback on the session, and I'm sure we require some time for conclusion as well. So thank you so much for listening to me for the last 4 days. I hope the session was helpful, and thank you for being such a great audience, and I hope the FDP has helped. So over to you, sir. The session is open for some discussion. I'll stop sharing my screen. Yeah, please feel free to share your thoughts and some ideas that you have, and maybe the forum is open for anything that we want to discuss. We have some time. Yeah, I hope I was audible. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Great.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
This is Jaikma from Chennai.
Yes, sir.
So I have one doubt. Okay. So I'm going to. Hello.
Yes, you're audible. Please go ahead.
So I'm preparing some abstract for my research with the AI technology. Okay. So half of the portions are mine. Okay. The remaining things only I'm asking the doubt for the AI. Okay. So finally, I got some abstract and like a paper slide. Okay.
Yeah.
If it comes under the plagiarisms or not?
It will, because see, I'll try to explain this in two ways. One is the way we normally write. Let's say I am writing an abstract, okay, on any topic. Let's say I have taken that example. When I manually write an abstract versus when I ask ChatGPT to write an abstract for me, there will be a very significant difference.
Just I'm asking only help for just help.
Sir, even with help, that's what I'm trying to answer. Let's say I have written about the first out of 250 words, about first 10 lines I have written, okay, and then I'm taking some help from it, and it is giving me an answer, and after that I'm copy pasting that content in my abstract. What will happen is in that scenario, there will be a major difference in the output style, in the sense that what I am writing and the section or the part where the AI is helping me. Let me, I think, show that to you with an example. That will be better to understand. Just give me 1 second. Let me reopen my ChatGPT. It will become clear immediately. It's an important question that you've raised. So let's say I'll give you a very simple prompt. Okay. So usually, whenever we write an abstract, and I hope so you're able to see the screen, I want to bring your attention to this section right here. If you see the last two sentences in what the part that I've highlighted, see the way that the sentences are starting. That's that. And whenever, I mean, if we are giving an assignment to our students, whenever students also give us an output which is AI generated, usually the sentences would end with keywords like in conclusion, however, to summarize, like that. Normally, we don't write like this, right? So that's an indication that, okay, maybe there is a possibility that the content is AI generated. So I'm talking about the style of the output that the writing gives to us. Of course, the better the prompt is designed, the better the output would be. Plus, I am using the premium version, so slightly better output has come. But usually, students end up using the software like we normally do. So in that sense, it's better write it in our own language, rewrite it in our own language, and then maybe it can be good to take some ideas from it, take some help from it, as you very correctly mentioned, then write it in our own language. That will be helpful instead of directly using.
Okay.
I hope that helps you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Puneet, am I audible?
Yes, you.
Yeah, Dr. Puneet, good evening. Very first of all, let me appreciate all your sessions are very, very nice and excellent session. Lot of new learnings we have got, how AI is going to helpful to us, a helping hand to do our research in a good way. Sir, if you remember 2 days back, I have asked you a question like regarding the research gap, all these things. Of course, I got lot of answer to my question. Now, today you have explained about this Kahovi. And from that text bar, we can get the literature review and all these things, right, sir? But as already you also mentioned that there is a warning that we have to cross check again the references is really whether it is available or not. Now, my doubt is, sir, instead of text, can we upload like multiple file? Suppose out of 30 or 40 files, I have shortlisted like 10 or 5 files are very helpful to me. And if I'll supposed to upload that files, and definitely whatever the literature review I'll get, there is no possibility of wrong in references, because definitely output will be from that. Can we use Kahovi for that purpose also? In that way also, can you use that? I hope I'm clear about my question.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope I am audible again. I lost my connection because of a power cut. I've connected.
Yes, sir, very much audible.
So in case there's any voice dropping, please pardon me for that. Yeah. Okay. So to answer your question, instead of Kahobi, try using Notebook LM. That will be better for you for that particular purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, Notebook LM will give you better output. Yes, what I've shown yesterday. Yeah.
Okay. So regarding this data analysis method, basically I'm from management area. Normally we used to use this regression, multiple regression, even structural equation modeling. In this all this tool we can use with this.
Yes. For some of my co-researchers who work in these areas, they have told me that it is possible. Please try it out with Julius with your data. It does work as far as I am aware. You will have to maybe give the correct prompt for that. Yeah, it does work as far as my awareness.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And again, I'm so sorry if my voice drops in between. There has been a power cut. I'm using my mobile data to connect. So
No, it's fine,
yeah,
sir. Absolutely fine. We
okay,
understood
great.
the concept.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. All right. Last call for questions, if any. Yes, Dr. Pallavi, ma'am, you have raised your hand. You can unmute. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. This is Dr. Pallavi.
Good evening, ma'am.
Wanted to know one question, sir. While doing research, we conduct reliability and validity tests.
Yeah.
So, will it be possible to conduct? I mean, to say to check whether the results, whether the data is proper or not, with the help of this AI tool?
Yes, ma'am. In fact, I remember one of my colleagues who works in similar area tried to do it with ChatGPT. I think it gave fairly good results. So you can try that. It does work. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, sir, without that test, validity and reliability, we can't go ahead.
Yeah.
So,
So it
just
would be
wanted to
better
know
to
that.
run that first. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Okay, ma'am. Yes. Yes.
Thank
Definitely.
you, sir.
Yes. Welcome. All right. I think I can't see any more questions in the chat box. Thank you, everybody, for your kind comments. I have already, Madhviji, I have already shared that policy on screen. I hope you saw that regarding from Elsevier. It tries to cover everything about how to use AI as far as research is concerned.
Punitji, small question,
Yes.
Punitji.
Yes, please go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
Punitji, my name is Dr. Ram Mohan from Maharashtra, working in
Yes, sir.
Sandeep University.
Yes, sir, please go ahead.
Nashik, sir. Nashik, I think you are familiar with
Yeah.
Nashik.
Yes, sir, please. Tell me.
Yes, sir. Small question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, regarding plagiarism, what is the percentage of acceptance of plagiarism in Indian universities and international universities? Because
Are you talking about AI plagiarism or the regular one?
Yeah, that's what, sir. Regarding research things also, sir, some universities they don't have foreign evaluation for PhD thesis, sir. Only Indian universities they are lifting and they are evaluating, and they are awarding PhDs. Okay.
Sir, I'm sorry, I am not able to get your question. Can you please repeat it or maybe elaborate what exactly is the question?
Yeah, that's what, sir. Plagiarism point of view I'm talking about. Plagiarism percentage. What is the acceptable plagiarism percentage in the research thesis, sir?
I think it's the regular one. If you talk about it, it's 10%. I think everybody would be able to comment on that. As far as the AI part is concerned, I think as we saw the policy that we saw just now, it doesn't mention any percentage as of yet. It talks about declaring the use of AI that we just saw on the screen from Elsevier. Right,
yes,
but
sir,
as far as the regular one is concerned, it's 10%. As far as I'm aware.
Yes, sir. We are also introducing the artificial intelligence subjects in MBA, BBA students also, sir.
Yes. I think it's very important at this point. Absolutely.
It's very much useful to the students right now.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you very much, Punitji, for responding me.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay. I can't see any more questions. Okay, sir. In that case, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good evening, participants. One important information what we need to share. We already shared the feedback form, that is the overall feedback form for the entire FDP, the Google Meet as well as in the YouTube chat box and even in our WhatsApp group also. And shortly, once this session completes, by the end of the session, we'll be sharing the exam link also. I hope we already mentioned every day that we'll be conducting an exam. And those who are going to attend that exam and complete the exam, the certificates will be generated from tomorrow onwards. Whatever the email you are going to specify in that exam form, to those email IDs, the certificates will be sent from tomorrow onwards. So be very vigilant in specifying your email ID in the exam form what you are going to fill. So other than that, we don't have any other sort of communication. We will consider the feedbacks what you have given for the past 5 days, along with that this exam what you are going to write. So kindly be vigilant and hope you had a very good session. And I request our fellow faculty member Dr. K. Hemabindu madam to conclude remarks.
Sir, if I may just add one last thing before
Yes, sir.
we
Yes, sir. Go
conclude.
ahead, sir.
Yeah. So, I am always open for any kind of further correspondence that we wish to have. You may connect with me. I am putting my email and my WhatsApp number in the chat box
Yes, sir.
with the
Yes, sir.
permission of the organizers. And
Yes,
please
sir.
feel free to connect with me. Let's be all in touch and learn and discuss further. So, I've dropped my email ID and my WhatsApp number as well. So, looking forward to maybe connecting with some of you. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Hemajyoti madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So, warm greetings to all. It's my pleasure. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks at the conclusion of this enriching 1 week FDP on AI tools and techniques for research. So, first and foremost, I express my heartfelt gratitude to the management and administration of Andhra Loyola College for their unwavering support and encouragement, which made this FDP possible. A special thanks to our resource persons, Dr. Pradyuman Singh Raj and Dr. Puneet Pathak for their engaging and thought-provoking sessions throughout the week. Your knowledge and dedication have been instrumental in making this FDP a grand success. So to my fellow participants, so your active participation and engagement have been the cornerstone of this program success. Lastly, I extend my appreciation to the FDP convener, Dr. A. Madhuri ma'am, and the organizing committee, and my fellow colleagues of Department of Business Administration for their tireless efforts and meticulous planning. So your hard work behind the scenes ensured the seamless execution of this FDP program. So as we conclude this FDP, let's take forward the knowledge that we have gained through this FDP and implement them effectively in our respective research fields. So we believe that it's the real success of our FDP. So once again, thank you all for making this FDP a success. Wishing you the best in your examination and your future endeavors. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great weekend ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. Once again, heartfelt gratitude from on behalf of Andhra Loyola College Department of Business Administration. We have already shared the assessment link also in all the possible manner. Even in the Google Meet chat also we have posted the same link, and even in the YouTube chat box also, and also in the WhatsApp community link where you have already joined there also we have already posted that. So hope everybody will be filling that assessment examination forms with utmost carefulness of your email ID. Check once and twice, and whatever the email ID what we are going to receive through the assessment link, through that only the certificates will be generated from tomorrow onwards. Once again, thank you everyone for your active participation and making this FDP went on with a good note, and hope many of you would have added their knowledge a bit to their research journey with the help of this 5-day FDP program. Thank you one and all. Thank you everyone. Thank you Himjyoti madam, and I would like to thank my fellow colleagues, Department of Business Administration and other participants from nook and corner of the country. Thank you everyone. Thank you Puneet sir. It's a great
Thank you so
association
much,
with
sir.
you sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Hope our journey will be
Thank you.
continued. Thank you sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you everyone.